questions are made. Custom rigs and upgrades.
We are live. We are live with the SARB-15. So obviously the dual safety system here, which we've spoken about before on the podcast. But we're in semi-auto at the minute. We'll squeeze off a few rounds. You have to slow-mo that bolt coming back or something. And then we'll switch to the fun mode. That is loud. When it goes off in your ear like that, that is properly loud.
So, first impressions?
Very, very satisfying. Very satisfying to shoot. The audible nature of it is incredible. Really gives you a sense of the weight of the bolt coming back right in your ear. Ergonomically, actually it feels very, very similar to a Steyr AUG in terms of that sort of one-handed wielding you can do with the, more specifically, do you remember the TM high cycle AUG was very, very short like this and had this sort of weight distribution and everything very, very similar as well. But it's really nice to wield. I could really see this excelling in a CQB environment. Just being able to slice the pie, not protrude past the sort of A pillar of a door or anything like that. It's really, really nice.
You were saying a minute ago about shield use.
I really do think you could use this, and I've got a shield, as some of you will know, and I could really see this being used in conjunction with a shield really nicely to form a shield operator, and you'd be at a massive advantage to every other player, because in a lot of instances when you try and run a shield operator loadout, you're using at most a Desert Eagle or something like that, something, you know, that you can wield quite easily one-handed. But this gives you that ability to tuck it in. It's really nicely distributed. It's really comfortable to wield one-handed in the shoulder, and even sort of just carrying running and gunning, it feels like that sort of thing that you could sprint with even one-handed.
Yeah, I think the way that it's moved the balance of the gun back, if you were to have, say, a shoulder issue or something like that, where a front-heavy gun would cause you a problem, something like this SARB kit would work really well. Or if you, dare I say it, if you only had one arm.
Yes,
or you had a disability, or, you know, it would obviously, mag changes, you would have to navigate your way around that, but it's doable.
Well, okay, so with with a proper sling that's nice and high, letting go of the weapon and using that one-handed mag pull isn't going to be
no, that's a good idea. That's a good shout.
You know, a sling mounted off of our ring here, nice and high in your chest. You could absolutely do that. We've revolutionized the one-handed airsofter game instantaneously.
All due to SARB.
All due to SARB. I think, look, you could even, with a longer barrel setup and it being slightly longer, the weight is still going to all be back here. Could you get away with a DMR build in one of these, potentially?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think
it would be nice to see them. If you know, if these are as popular as I think they probably will be, it would be nice to see them do one for the 7.62 platform guns like the SR-25s.
Would we have? As long as we can get a slightly bigger mag well.
Yeah, they'd only have to oversize it slightly to make it fit.
Yeah,
it would be an interesting setup, because then you could run a Bullpup DMR or a Bullpup 7.62 based DMR.
Yeah,
as opposed to just running it on a normal AR M4 chassis. But no, I'm impressed with it. I just wanted to get your first, because obviously it's your gun.
I'm always impressed with a lot of things that SRU do, but this is exceptional. It is absolutely exceptional, and I think with the right sort of riser setup, get the optics slightly higher so that you don't. What you want to avoid is that sort of hunched nature. So if we can get a slight riser, or even like a P90 setup or a FAMAS sort of setup, with it being nice and high, keep you comfortable. I think it's, yeah, absolutely golden.
Cool.
That nice for doing that.
We were saying something similar along the lines of having a FAMAS style riser up here, and then or say a P90 or
Because I
something
don't
like
want my
that.
face down there.
Exactly, and you don't want to hunch over it. Hello, mate. How's it going? We are. Well,
You're popping.
You're looking at the world's most haram thing.
what do you mean? This is beautiful.
Jesus Christ.
Would you like a go?
I genuinely don't,
Oh, okay.
because it hurts me to look at
Very
on a
negative.
moral level. How could you
It
convert
is
an M4?
sacrilegious to your eyes.
It is deeply sacrilegious. Although I will say it does sound good.
Sounds good and it feels good, and like hopefully Rod will back us up on this. It's the audible factor being that close to your ear.
It's not that bad.
It's not that
I
bad.
thought it'd be worse. It's not
I
that
will
bad.
have a go if you want.
Yeah.
Go on, it's tickling your pickle, isn't it?
Well, not in that way, but... Are we on safe? Where's the safety on this?
So, dual safeties. You've got a fire control system up there which will lock the trigger, and then the standard safety is still at the back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it is loud, but it's not that loud.
It's not uncomfortable.
It's not uncomfortable loud. It is nice. It is nice. It's just also deeply haram.
I don't think the noise was worse than a normal investigator.
No, I don't think so.
Running it as a normal investigator, I don't think the noise was worse. I thought it would be, but it's just a little bit different, isn't it?
It is different, but
Very
is
different.
different good?
Maybe.
Different is unique.
It's
Take it to the take it to the airsoft field and try something new. Ergonomics wise, how did you feel about sort of wielding it, maneuvering it? Could you see?
You'd have to get used to it, like, because it's so different.
Myself and Brett were just saying, with one-handed wielding, you could be a shield operator as well,
Yeah.
and that would transform gameplay for everyone. Then, shield operator, peek around the side of the shield. It's compact enough to
I
actually
think it's
wield
good
like
to
that.
be compact for if you're going, like, getting onto a bus.
They do bigger options, obviously. If you had a DMR setup, the rail system and the barrel would protrude a lot more. You could set up a longer pull on it. No.
I don't know. Like, initially, I've never liked that
What do you feel
style,
of the
but-
build quality though?
Oh,
And
nice.
But yeah, marks out of 10. Oh, if we really put him on the
8.
spot here, 8.
8.
A solid 8.
Yeah.
A solid 8 out of 10. Yeah, well, thank you, Rod.
Thank you.
And we'll put Rod's Instagram up on the
Yeah.
on the thing as well. Should we get some more people?
I just need to make sure. Come on, what have we got here?
I'll have to say it's disgusting.
Oh no!
You're going to love it. It's a bullpup. Of course you do.
You had a quick look at this earlier on, didn't you? And
I don't know how I feel about it still. I'm not sure.
Do you think it's a Marmite gun then? You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it.
It's just, I don't know. Bullpup's not my style, so it's like, it'd be like handing me an AK. I'm going to go, yeah, it's cool, but it's not my style of gun, do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Very compact, man. Do you like it? Shall we have a little shoot with it?
Go on, do it. So you got
charging up
charging
right at the
handles,
back.
all in the usual places. You do have, I don't know if we've got trigger safety up the front. We've also got the standard safeties at the rear, or the fire control units at the rear.
Well, that's going to get awkward, isn't it, when you forget that?
When you forget. Is it changing your mind, sir?
That's naughty.
It's got quite a heavy bolt in it, and that's the thing.
That's a lot different to what I thought it was going to be like, actually firing. Some range on it as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's one of those things that like whether you like the ergonomics, whether you like the visual aesthetics of it, once you shoot it, it feels different.
Yeah.
It's something new.
It's.
And I mean, you've got a Nevesque anyway, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's the response is nice. The actual feedback from the gun's nice. I think the posture for me is not quite right. You know, it's the same as if I'm running the MP7. It's still, as fun as it is, it's still really compact for me. So I think I'm getting the same vibes off of that with being close gripped.
Yeah.
But having said that, actually, when you're doing work with it, I could see it actually being a nice piece of field kit that you could definitely slap some skulls with. I couldn't get used to this two safety system.
You wouldn't necessarily have to use that. I mean, that is it purely blocks out the trigger and the bar that runs through the chassis down to the original trigger in behind.
Interesting. Interesting.
But obviously with these kits as well, there's still room for any sort of aesthetic you like. It can change any form of, am I right in saying it, A2 grips and everything as well?
Yes. Yeah, basically any M4 grip.
Right.
If you
So
had
that is the standard Nevesque grip that's on there at the moment.
So if you had a longer rail system, a longer barrel, they do like a shroud that elongates the kit slightly. So you have a longer sort of C-clamp in front of you.
Yeah, would that bring your full grip forward then?
Yeah,
you would probably get away with.
It replaces, so the shroud that they do bolts onto the same section, but elongates it. And I think it's actually in metal. And then you have a full range of sort of M-lock rail system and all the rest of it to go along with whatever rail system you've got.
Yeah, ready for whatever furniture you want to stick on the top.
Exactly. And like I say, it'll increase the length of your aiming arm, if you like.
Yeah. Wouldn't feel so closed in.
Yeah. And again, we keep mentioning it, but obviously with a bit of a riser or an optic on a riser, you're not going to hunch down onto it as well. So there's ways and means you could set the gun up to whatever situation you wanted.
Yeah. It's definitely, having actually fired it and set it up now, it's looking at it this morning, it was kind of like, nah. But yeah, that's definitely changed my perspective on it actually firing.
I think it is one of those things that when you actually use it, it gives you a lot more opportunity to be won over by it.
Again, obviously being gas, it's right up my street, so you're getting all the feedback from it. I think if that was an AEG, would 100% be a no.
Okay.
I think for me, but the saving grace of it being gas blowback.
You feel that kick, you feel the noise, or you hear the noise.
Yeah.
Did you give it a little burst on full auto?
I didn't know. Shall I?
Yeah, I think you should.
Have you still got enough in the mag?
Yeah, there should be.
Couldn't get used to this rear.
I think it'd
once
take
you've
a
run it a
minute.
few times, it would just become what you're used to, wouldn't it? So you'd be all right.
British Army would be used to it with the L85, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's even better on full auto. Stop trying to make me like it. Oh my days. Very nice. I do like that now. Shit.
And with that, I think we'll stop there.
L85 in real terms and stuff. Obviously, this is SRU. I don't know if you're familiar with SRU as a brand. So they're specifically, they've gone into the real steel market now, and you can buy this kit for real steel AR-15 rifles, and it converts it into a bullpup configuration for all your wiles and needs. And I was just wondering, or we were just wondering, how it would compare to the real thing. This is the gas blowback Nevesque platform.
Yeah.
With this kit as well, SRU provide a short travel bolt in it, essentially. So try it, see how it cycles, see how you like it. Be interesting to hear your. Have we got the safeties off and everything?
Yeah, safety's off.
Still on.
Give her a little bump in full auto. Are you sold?
Very nice.
It is.
Characteristics wise, what's it like?
Yeah, obviously the kick's not as bad,
No.
but it's still there, noticeable, and it does feel more realistic. I like it.
You like it?
What do you think of the actual ergonomics of it? How it feels and shoulders and...
It feels a bit back heavy, but once it's in the shoulder, it's not a problem. You know, I've got chunky hands and that front grip's still fine. I'm not gonna interfere with the trigger. I like the safety at the front and
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so the safety at your selector at the back is still used as your main selector. The safety at the front is like a secondary safety.
it's basically like change lever on the L85.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But then you've still got obviously you've got the safe on there and the safe on there. But it does actually feel really nice.
Obviously, that's fully customizable as well. You could change out the pistol grip for whatever you
I
wanted.
think the pistol grip's perfect. I think some of the big-handed people might have a problem there,
Yeah.
but me personally, no. You know, and even, I suppose if it's extended slightly.
Well, they do it.
Or even,
They do an extension. They
need to-
do a metal extension that comes out to about there. So if you had a longer barrel set up and everything, you can run whatever you wanted then in terms of foregrips and
you can
everything.
use like that. I like it. Yeah, obviously it's really back heavy, but once it's in the shoulder, it's fine. It's one of those. Go on.
Everyone seems to
use
be
the
a
back of this.
convert once they pick
Once
it
they
up and
fired
fire
it,
it.
once they fired it.
Yeah. Fire's nice. And it does feel almost realistic. And you can feel it's like chunky and well built,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, like I say, they do it for the real steel market as well. This specific kit here is the Airsoft version, which is, I don't really know what the differences are in terms of build. I know the real steel one has to screw together.
It'd be. I think it's worth trying to find out. Just if we drop SRU a message, at least then we know what we're talking about with it. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, once you put a decent sight on it.
Yeah,
God, you could just go all out and put a SUSAT on there. Just to really annoy everybody. Yeah, well, just to annoy everybody. Like, oh, great, gun's great, sight's terrible.
I'll bring my SUSAT round, we'll stick it on there, see how bad
There we
it
go. There we go. Cool.
But yeah, you know, compared to the SAE, it's not as balanced.
It's probably the closest thing that I've seen in Airsoft to a decent blowback bullpup rifle, like SA-80 style. Cool. Well, thank you very much for coming over and giving us your opinion
So
on
I
it.
get to keep this down, right?
they will be available from Outlaw.
Yeah, they are available, but the price tag isn't quite as polite as I think everyone would like. But you know, it is what it is. You do pay for the weird stuff, don't you?
Yeah. I think the only thing that people are going to find the downside is you can't adjust the back.
Yeah. But on the whole,
But
not a bad
by
bit
an
to
SAE,
get.
you don't adjust the back anyway. So
No.
you're pretty much getting what you got. And that is very nice. I'll stick this one in the van.
Outlaw Airsoft, where legends are made. Custom rigs and upgrades.